Hey, what's up guys, Kino here, and today I have for you my VGC tournament run from NEC a couple weeks back. Now this VGC tournament was a little different from most. Instead of Swiss, it was actually double elimination, best of one. So basically my game plan going into this was don't get haxed. This first match I have for you, this was my winners semis match against my buddy Jam, who I actually ended up rooming with in the hotel for this tournament. You know, we were there for Pokken and Smash, and they had Pokemon there also. It was, you know, more or less a side event, but it was still a lot of fun. Had a great time at the event in general. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right in. So, like I said, this is the first match I have for you. It was winners semifinals. The other matches really are not worth uploading, but I'm running the team that I showed off in my previous VGC lives, the Coco Jolteon team. Also bringing Gyarados and Porygon 2. Porygon 2 being the latest addition to this team, and then leaving in the back my Mudsdale and my Machamp. Jam, I don't remember what his other two Pokemon are, but as you can see, he's rocking the Serena, Garchomp, Tapu Lele, and Arcanine. Pretty good team. I like the matchup a lot, especially if his Garchomp is not Choice Scarf. Then, you know, my Jolteon Coco kind of just annihilates him. So, yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into this match. So I'm obviously recording these post commentating the replays. The battles are really slow, so I decided to speed them up a bit, and I think the music actually sounds pretty cool, so we're going to keep it like this for now. Anyways, my opponent, Jam, is going to lead off with the Serena and Garchomp as I lead off with my Electric Spam Coco Jolteon. Now, because this is best of one, I want to scout just to see if his Garchomp is Choice Scarf, instead of just going directly for the HP Ice Dazzling Gleam or something like that. So I switch on to Gyarados to get the Intimidate. This way, if he is Scarf, his Earthquake will not be able to knock out my Jolteon, and obviously my Gyarados will be immune to it, and I can safely, pretty safely anyways, fire off a Hidden Power Ice onto his Garchomp and do a ton of damage. He decides to switch his Serena out to Tapu Lele, which is cool, as we see the Rock Slide come out after the Hidden Power Ice. Also pretty glad he didn't Earthquake. I'm surprised he didn't Earthquake there because I had two Electric types, but whatever. We confirm he's not Choice Scarf, and that's great. Now here, I think his switch out to, his switching out his Garchomp's pretty obvious. So what I decide to do is just target down his Tapu Lele with my Jolteon. If you guys have seen my previous videos, you know I'm rocking the Ghost DMZ on Jolteon with the Shadow Ball for that 165, 170 base power, Never-Ending Nightmare, or something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head. Jolteon looks mad too, right? So this animation's so cool on the DS. It reminds me of one of the villains from Ray Zero who has all the hands. But anyways, this actually doesn't knock out Tapu Lele, which was actually a pretty big deal. I really thought that would one-hit KO it, to be honest. I've since changed this Jolteon to Modest also because I don't want to deal with that. Anyways, expecting that to knock out the Tapu Lele, I went for a Dragon Dance on my Gyarados to get to +1 attack and speed. Unfortunately, that mistake is definitely going to cost me, as Psychic will be able to knock out my Gyarados. So Gyarados not really doing too much this game. However, I will be able to bring back out my Tapu Coco now, get that Electric Terrain back up, and now I can pretty freely fire off a Thunderbolt plus a Discharge. I don't have to predict him switching into Garchomp or anything because I know it's not Scarf, and I can knock it out on the following turn with an HP Ice or Dazzling Gleam, or maybe even a Shadow Ball at that point. Discharge also healing up my Jolteon is really nice. That's one of the points of this gimmick. And gonna Thunderbolt into the Arcanine just to finish it off, because I know there's no way Tapu Coco's Jolteon can knock it out from full with the Discharge. So Arcanine's down. Tapu Lele is gonna come back out and set the Psychic Terrain back up once again. Jam was playing very like terrain control based. He kept trying to keep that Psychic Terrain up the whole game. I'm not too sure why. I don't think it mattered that much, but that's just that, you know, that was one of the factors influencing most of his decisions. I'm going to knock out his Tapu Lele with the Shadow Ball and just go for a nice and safe Dazzling Gleam onto the Cherry Bay. Serena does a decent amount of damage, but we are going to see the Bloom Doom coming out from the Serena. Now, this might be my favorite looking Z move, honestly. I don't know, it's just really cool. You see all the bloom, all the pretty colors, and then you see the doom. So, very accurately named Z move in my opinion, and Tapu Koko is easily going to go down to that. So I have 2 down, he has 2 down, pretty even game. I have Porygon 2 in the back though, which is great for me, especially because I'm going to get the special attack boost from the download, and I'm packing Ice Beam on Porygon 2, so I will be able just to hidden power the Garchomp, because I know his Garchomp is going to be faster than his Serena, and then just Ice Beam into the Serena with my Porygon 2. Even if he high jump kicks my Porygon, first of all, it doesn't die. That can actually live a Adamant Pheromosa high jump kick, believe it or not. And then, like I said, Porygon 2 is just going to be able to finish it off with the Ice Beam, and that's going to be game 1, or not game 1, but my winner's semis match against Jam. Now getting into the next match, we have against my buddy Toasty. This is the winners finals match. He's bringing the Aerodactyl, Arcanine, Tapu Lele, and Magnezone. Another, seeing all these all these Arcanines and Tapu Leles, not actually a huge deal. My team deals with them pretty well, but I'm bringing Mudsdale this game because if you just look at his team compared to Mudsdale actually just destroys him, which is amazing. It's packing the Heavy Slam for the Tapu Lele and the Aerodactyl, and then I'm bringing Gyarados and then the Electric Core in the back. So without further ado, let's just hurry up. No, where are we going? We got time to kill, but let's jump right into the winners finals match. Alright, so here we go. Toasty issuing the challenge. I am leading with my Mudsdale and Gyarados. Like I said, Mudsdale just does so much work against his team, as he's going to lead with the Arcanine and the Aerodactyl. So, I guess one mistake I made this match was letting my Mudsdale get crippled so early. But, well, you'll see here after all the Intimidates are done going around. Mudsdale still hits like a truck. It's crazy. So, he tries to Sky Drop Gyarados, but Gyarados is too heavy. Gyarados is a fatty, so Aerodactyl's not going to be able to do that. But he is able to burn my Mudsdale, and that is kind of an issue. You see, it's not the end of the world, because watch how much this -1 burned Heavy Slam is about to do to Aerodactyl. Like, look at this. That's still a really solid 2-hit KO. So Mudsdale is still really useful, and it tanks like everything. So I'm able to get a Dragon Dance up with my Gyarados as he goes for a Tailwind with his Aerodactyl. So I learned an interesting mechanic about Tailwind today, or when I played this, but we'll get into that anyways. Waterfall at neutral. I'm at neutral attack now. Waterfall is able to knock out the Arcanine. I actually didn't think it would, so I went for an Earthquake with my Mudsdale just in case the Arcanine lived. But it is going to knock it out. Aerodactyl is going to live to fight another day, as he's going to go into his Tapu Lele. Now here, he's going to attempt to Sky Drop my Mudsdale with Aerodactyl, but once again, Mudsdale is heavier than Gyarados, so that's not going to work out. However, because of the Tailwind, his Tapu Lele will be able to outspeed my Gyarados and knock me out with the Thunderbolt. I forgot that Tapu Lele likes to run that, so that was also my bad. I made a few mistakes this game, but coming up was the big mistake. So, able to get the Electric Terrain up going into my Tapu Koko. He's going to be able... He makes a really nice play right here. He protects with his Tapu Lele and goes for the Sky Drop onto my Tapu Koko. Even though it's not going to do that much damage, I won't be able to get any damage off on him this turn. And it's going to stall out a turn of my Electric Terrain, which kind of comes into play later. But he's going to Sky Drop me now. Now here's where I think I kind of messed up. I thought Tailwind had ended because I checked the button thing on the bottom screen, on the touch screen, and checked to see if Tailwind was gone, and there's no Tailwind there. So I thought it was gone. I wasn't counting because I was bad. Apparently, you have to click on one of your opponent's Pokemon to see if Tailwind is still there or not. That's why I didn't Heavy Slam into the Aerodactyl. I thought my Tapu Koko would be able to discharge after getting Sky Dropped, knock out the Aerodactyl, and then I could knock out the Tapu Lele with the high horsepower. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. As Aerodactyl's hanging on. But here now we're going to go for the Never-Ending Nightmare once again with the Jolteon. Jolteon getting super mad, unleashing all of its anger that its trainer is stupid and doesn't know how to count Tailwind turns onto this Tapu Lele, and it will be enough to knock it out from that range. We saw how much it did to Jam's Tapu Lele in the previous match, so from that range it'll definitely kill. He's going to go for a Sky Drop once again onto my Jolteon just to live the next attack. However, Tailwind does, thankfully, peter out the previous turn. Just kidding. Yeah, no, Tailwind petered out the last turn. But here, I'm actually in a pretty decent position, all things considered, because I will be able to Thunderbolt the Aerodactyl and finally get rid of this thing. I like how Aerodactyl and Mudsdale have just been on the field this whole entire time. Mudsdale has been taking hits, though. This Flash Cannon does a decent amount of damage, 51 HP to be exact, and that's kind of important. Stamina boost doesn't matter, but I'm going to go for the high horsepower on Magnezone. Does a good amount, pretty solid 2-hit KO. And he's got leftovers, which was pretty interesting. And if well, you'll see. Anyways, so yeah, he's gonna make a good play and protect here because one, well, a lot of reasons. One, he's gonna get more leftovers recovery. Two, my Mudsdale is going to take more burn damage to give him a higher chance to knock me out with the flash cannon. And three, as you're going to see right here, he has stalled out the last turn of electric terrain. So now I'm going to be going for Shadow Balls. Electric terrain boosted Thunderbolt does actually do more to Magnezone than Shadow Ball does. And as you can see, Shadow Ball's not really doing that much damage. So he's going to flash cannon onto my Mudsdale, try and knock it off, and knock it out. Sorry, I'm going to live with 5 HP. It was probably a roll to knock me out. The first one did 51. This one did 55. I don't know what the roll was, but we take those because I'm pretty sure Magnezone would easily be able to 1v1 my Jolteon at that point. But we are able to take Winners Finals. And now that just leaves one last set, Grand Finals against Rental. He ended up bringing a really interesting Trick Room team that kind of caught me off guard. I saw the Torkoal and I saw the Slowbro, so I'm like, okay, I'm definitely leading Porygon 2. I want to reverse that Trick Room if he tries to set it up because my team, if it doesn't play well against Trick Room, it does lose to Trick Room. Obviously, if I can, prevent Trick Room from going up, my team runs a train on Trick Room. But yeah, preventing Trick Room is definitely my main goal. So I'm leading with the Porygon, and I'm also going to lead with Gyarados because I kind of just expected him to lead Slowbro Torkoal. That's a pretty common, Trick Room setter plus Trick Room abuser lead. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the first match of Grand Finals. Alright, so Rental is issuing me a challenge. I'm leading, like I said, with the Porygon Gyarados. As we see, he actually leads with the Slowbro and Lucario. Now, I really wanted to click Trick Room here to reverse the turn 1 Trick Room, but I really did not expect... I didn't think he'd go for Trick Room if he'd led Lucario. I thought, okay, maybe he didn't bring Trick Room mode. And also, a close combat was kind of scary onto my Porygon. What I definitely could have done here was recover, as it turns out my Adamant Gyarados is faster than his Lucario, and he's going to go for a final Gambit onto my Porygon, which completely caught me off guard. Going to do a lot of damage. Thankfully, I hit the Lucario, so it didn't do as much as it could have, but that could have been a big issue. If we got a Freeze or a Para here, the game was over, but he is going to Trick Room, and I'm kicking myself right now. I'm like, oh my god, why didn't I just go with my gut and just click Trick Room, just reverse it immediately. That was pretty annoying, but now he's going to get also a free switch into his Torkoal. The sun is up, the Trick Room is up. I am not in the best position right now. His Slowbro is just going to Psychic onto my Porygon just to get a little bit more damage to make sure I can't reverse Trick Room, as now Eruption will be enough to knock out my Porygon. No reversing Trick Room for me. Does a decent amount to Gyarados. I go for the Waterfall, I believe, onto the Torkoal. His Torkoal is also Life Orb. Usually, I don't like Life Orb on a Pokemon that's using something like Eruption because you don't want to be taking your own HP, but he actually has a really good setup that makes it okay. Anyways, I'm going to go into my Mudsdale here because it can take an Eruption, and I need to get rid of this Torkoal immediately, as his Slowbro reveals the Heal Pulse, and that's why I think Life Orb Torkoal is pretty okay. Gets his Torkoal back up to full HP, able to fire off another full-powered Eruption, and this does so much damage. It knocks out my Gyarados. It's actually a crit on my Gyarados. I'm not 100... I actually didn't check to see if that mattered or not. If the crit did matter, then I obviously miss out on the KO on his Torkoal this turn. But I'm going to go for the Earthquake here. I probably, honestly, should have just high horsepowered into the Torkoal, because Torkoal is going to be able to live. I don't know if high horsepower would kill. I think I was expecting just Waterfall plus high horsepower to kill. Anyways, I'm going to go into my Tapu Koko here. Get the Electric Terrain up. At this point, it really doesn't matter too much because I'm not able to deal with this. He's going to go for the Psychic onto my Mudsdale, just to put it in range to die from the next attack. As we see this turn, he goes for the Flamethrower instead of the Eruption. Makes sense, his HP is pretty low. And that is going to be enough to knock out my Mudsdale. I'm going to discharge this turn to finally finish off the Torkoal, and this is actually pretty good info for us because we are able to see he's Wakanberry Slowbro. From this amount of HP, it's, it doesn't matter that much. It's going to die anyways, but that's good information for the next game. Spoilers, I lose this one, he resets me into losers. But his last Pokemon is Tapu Lele, and my only hope here was to get a paralysis with Discharge, him getting full parried, and then me just either parrying him again or critting him or something. So we're going to go for it. It's Pokemon. It can totally happen. I don't remember why we bothered protecting. Maybe to like try and stall out a potential Z move or something, or just to scout his set for the next game. I don't know, but to run out Trick Room. That's why. Sorry, I forgot that was still up. But anyways, here it is. We are going to Discharge, but we are not going to get the para, and he is going to knock us out with the Psychic. So that is going to be him taking the winner. Again, this was best of one. The whole tournament was best of one, but I was winner's side of Grand Finals. So this was him resetting me into losers. Now, unfortunately, the second set of Grand Finals wasn't recorded. He did win. It was a lot closer because obviously I had a lot of information on his team. But he was able to take it, and after the match, I just kind of closed my DS because I was kind of salty. I really wanted first at this tournament. Second's great and all, but no, fuck that. We wanted first. But he does take it over me. I end up getting second at NEC. Rental gets first, and I think Slip and Bug got third, if I'm not mistaken. Either Slip or Toasty. But anyways, that's going to be it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry I don't have that second set for you, but we will have more Pokemon content from the cartridge, Sun and Moon cartridge, coming up soon. So stay tuned for that, of course. We will be having more Showdown lives as well and all that other fun stuff. I also have some new ideas for some new series that I want to do. One of them kind of taking advantage of the new, not very good so far Pokemon players that are, out there. I've seen so many players on YouTube and Twitch and everything streaming and playing, and they're just ass. So we're gonna have some fun with them in some later videos. So look forward to that. That'll be great. And yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for all that fun stuff that I just talked about, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.